Today is strength focus. And today's focus is hip strength. And there's a few things you need to get ready if you want to do the full thing. You could do all of it without these apparatuses. I just want to show you the most effective thing. So right now, I have a band tied to an anchor, which is my weight shelf. That's one thing I have. And then I also have a band that I'm going to put around my legs. So if you have either of those things, why don't you pull them out, maybe tie your piece to the anchor and grab your band that you will put around your legs. If not, I want you to just do the workout to find out what it's all about. I want to talk about strengthening the hips. Now, a lot of the exercises that look like they're hip strengtheners, I'm going to talk about this to give you time to do your equipment, actually don't. They're not because you're not getting effects in the hips, but because your prime mover is somewhere else. So on the floor and standing up, we do leg raises, right? And one of the things we find out, and this is why I call it alligator, is we feel it in our glutes before we feel it in our hips. Our glute is a global muscle. It takes over, right? So it takes over these side exercises. So one of the things we have to do is to make sure that we do something that allows the hip to have more power in the exercise. Another false one is the plie. Again, you're getting the quads. They're doing the work there. You can feel them get hard and pull up. And we think because we're using the hip joint, we are getting the hip effects. Now, one of the other things that you need to know is turnouts do not work the hips. They work the inside and the outside of the abductors and adductors. So that's not going to get your hips either. So one of the things, if we're trying to create hip strength, and what's hip strength good for? Walking, lifting, supporting your pelvis, right? So everything, walking up steps, walking down steps, everything that your body does, all the sports, especially lateral ones, want to have hip strength. And you want your hip strength to work with your glute strength, because when the glutes take over, they leave these supporting muscles into not a rest position, but they're kind of like bystanders. So one of the things, you want to do is you want to work parallel, because when you work parallel, you're going to work the hips. So if you just lift your foot off and you lift it up and down, you can feel the hip muscle just like that. Now, one of the problems that we have is that when we do stuff that does that, we're also working the glutes. So one of the things I want to do is kind of take a little power away from the glutes. So one of the ways to do that is a single leg squat. So we're parallel. Okay, I'm assuming you got your stuff already now. You're taking one leg out into a flex, not a hard flex, just a flex. Now, I'm not great at lowering down to the seat. You're trying to imagine there's a seat behind you, but I can do it enough to feel, right? Put your hand on the side, feel that hip muscle engage and come up. So here, because we've taken away this whole push, if you put your leg down, you can feel the whole push, and there's your glute, right? When you take that away, let's do 10 of these, head over tailbone. You inhale down, exhale 1, 2, you feel that? 3, a little bit more than that glute. 4, if you put your hand on the glute, you can feel it working, but it's not getting that hard ball. 5, that we usually get in our squat. 6, good. 7. Now, if this is hard for you, you can also put your foot down. 8, it's not as much. You get still more. 9, you still get more glute. 10, but it's better than nothing. All right, let's go on the other side. Now, this will be hard for me to go deep because of my funny knee, but I'll try. 1, yeah, I can do it. 2, it can hold weight. 3, I'll pretend. 4, nice. 5, 6, 7, 8, good job. 9, and 10. All right, so you can see that once we get the glute out of the mix, we are then putting more into the hip. Now, same thing. I'm going to show you another myth. So if you have the band, again, you don't need the band, but if you have it, it certainly does accelerate the use of the hip. You want to tie it pretty tight. You want to tie it so you can just open a little bit. Now, a lot of things that you'll see online are what teachers like to tell you to do. instructors like to tell you to do is get into that squat and walk across. Now that is working your glute, but one of the things that's interesting is it also, your hip, it's also really getting that glute into a ball, right? So I'm saying make it a real demi-plie, really shallow, or, right, not a plie or not a squat at all. So let's do it just, this band isn't tight enough. I don't know where my other one is. Just walk it across, legs straight up. Put your hands on your side, see how it feels. So 1, yeah, you can feel the hip moving, right? 2, not the glute. So put your hand on your glute and see how. 4, we'll go back 4, because that's all I have room in my camera for. 2, 3, so we are working our hip. 1, 2, I'm sliding because I have a rug and that gives more resistance. If you don't have the rug, that's okay. You don't have to slide. Don't get splinters. 2, 3, you can be on your mat, but it's not sliding enough. 4, let's do 2 more sets and then we'll go into that little demi. 1, 2, 3, see how you're working your sides here? 4, it doesn't feel like super challenging. So I need a tighter band. 1, it's under my weight somewhere. 2, I take my weights off, the bands lie there, and then I put the weights on top of it, and then I don't get them out. So I need a band hanger. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. 1, 2, 3. Now, before we go to the demi-plie, let me also show you what's an interesting option. So you take one diagonal, turn, take the other one diagonal, turn, and again, turn, take it back, turn. So as you do those turns, you're using the flexor like the ball that it is. So you take it, turn, take it, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn. So that's another option. All right, so let's go to that really shallow demi. Right here, put your hands on your hips. Make sure you're getting hip work. Over, yeah. 2, but we got a little assistance from the glute. Take it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 of these all together. 1, I feel it. 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 more. 1, 2, head over tailbone, even though you're a little bent. 4, take it back. Always hit that like I'm dancing. 2, that marks your way back, right? 4, last set. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take it back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, come to the center, keeping the band on. So here we're going to lift and lower, touch down with your toe. Now put your hand on your side. Still. So see how parallel movement. This is going to do 5 of these. 5, 6. See how parallel movement works at 7, hip, 8, 9, and 10. Now I want to give a nod to the fact that it's not just a straight muscle. So we're going to take the leg out a little bit, keeping it forward, but doing it over to the side. 1, feel that. Now we got lots of hip. 2, I really want you to have your hand on the muscle. 3, 4, and the reason I want to have that, 5, so you never forget what gets activated. 6, 7, good job. 8, 9, this is a wrapping muscle. 10, it's a round and a wrapping muscle. So we need to treat it like that. Let's do the other side. Now, if you need to bend that leg to keep yourself balanced or put your hand on an apparatus, that's okay. Let's take that knee up. 1, 2. Now, one of the things you can do, 3, is hold it. 4, hold it there, and then bring it down. 5, or just hold it for a long time. 6, we're just going to repeat what we did on the other side, and then I'll talk about that. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now take it out, and we're going to come across diagonal. Put your hand on that hip. 1, straighten the foot back out. 2, 3, One of the ways we work hips is by doing lateral motion. 5, racket sports, dancing, 6, salsa's good, 7, good, swing dance, 8, lots of hip hop, but they use a lot of shoulders, 9, and 10, any Latin modality, of course, will take you into the hip work. And it's not because you move your hips. In salsa, you actually move your legs. So you're going quick, quick, slow, right? You're not actually doing this, right? That's not what you're doing. You're moving your feet, right? And that movement of the feet is what dips the hip. So that's what really gets your hips working. So even if you're not a dancer, you might think about if you're trying to strengthen your hips for, say, rugby or pickleball, whatever you're trying to do it for. If you do the step, double, good, then you can get some hip work, right? You can do a cha-cha, you can do a salsa move, right? You can do out to the side, out to the side, up to the side. So you can also use dance moves with your band to get stronger in that hip area. Where was I going? I was going to the holds. I got distracted. All right, we can take it up into the hold, and then we have, although the glute is supporting us, we have that hip into the contraction. So get the foot straight down from the knee. That helps lengthen through here. Get your head over your tailbone and just hold it until everything gets tired, right? You do have some glute support if you put your hand back there. It isn't the hard ball, right? Like we have in the squat. So you are getting that hip engagement. All right, bring it down. Other side. Yeah, breathe into it. Make sure that foot is coming out of the knee. Nice, and bring it down. Okay, another thing that helps work our legs are crosswalks. This is kind of a catwalk thing. So you're going to, again, keep the band on. If you can, again, you don't have to. Crosswalk, it's a model walk. They do the walk they do down the catwalk. Cross, across, across. Now take it backwards. Don't look. Take it back and back. See how the hip is working in motion? And back. Let's do it. Let's do about 6 of these. 2. Good. It's number 2. Ooh, I felt my knee slide. And then take it back, back, and back, and back, and back. Of course, it's harder with high heels, so we're not going to do high heels. Across. See, the hip is going into power. It's holding you on that front leg till you cross the other leg over. And so you have that work happening here. Good. We have 2 more or 3 more sets. Across, across. I need to be a model. Across. First, they're thrusting their hips forward, so they're getting a little bit more pelvic engagement, which I would recommend. I'll pay for it later. Good. And 2 more. Cross, across. Whole body is lifted above it. You want it to be your anchor. Remember how we talk about anchors being very stable, right? In order for us to do the work we're trying to do. Good. Now, final catwalk. Good. Across, across, across. I'm doing different numbers. I'm just like getting as close to the camera and then taking it back. Good. Nice. You've got it. Now, I'm not saying these are powerful hip moves, but if you're like standing around your house and you wrap this band around your body and you go through your chores of the day, they actually do it from the knee down, so they get a little more quad support, but we're not doing it from the knee down. You're going to help your hips, right? So what we want to do is avoid having the glutes take over. It's not that we don't want strong glutes. We want strong glutes. We really want strong glutes. But we don't want to have the glutes cancel out the power of the hips. All right, let's take the band off. And we're going to use the band that's tied to the anchor. This is really one that I discovered through physical therapy. So you want to tie it around your ankle or get into your handle. I got the handle one on here. If I had a therapy band on it, I'd have to tie it around my ankle. And you want to take it out to full extension. You want your head over your tailbone, and what you're going to do is cycle forward. So you're going to lift up and push back. Try to keep it off the floor. 2, 3, feel that hip. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, that's harder to do. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I want you to come on down to one-legged dog and drive it to your chest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it back there and lift up. Oops, mine's not hanging on. 2, 3, I got it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and bring it down. Roll yourself up. So we got all the way around that. All right, we're going to go over to the other leg. I bet when you said, oh, she's doing hip strengtheners today, probably didn't expect very many of these exercises. All right. This hurts your back at all, make sure that you bend the leg, make sure your belly button's to your spine. That's really important. We're going to go this way so you can see it from the front. All right, cycle forward. 1, 2, stay centered. 3, she says as she falls over. 4, 5, because I'm on my leg. 6, lift it up. 7, take it, kick it back. 8, 9, and 10. And reverse. 1, bring it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. 7. You can really feel the hip on this, right? 8, anything where you cycle. 9 and 10 is great for your hip. All right, we're coming down to dog, and we're bringing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Reach it out. 1, 2, lift up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Feet together. Curl yourself up, and we're going to do something with that on the ground. All right, so slip it off. I'm not going to put my mat back down. You can put your mat back down, come on down, loop a foot, or tie it around your leg. All right. Curl yourself all the way down, bring your one leg to tabletop, and you're going to take the leg over to the side, almost make sure it's extended. There's a tight band there, almost all the way down. Lift to the center, then lift to the other leg. Lift to the center and down. Center, leg, center, and 2. Center, keeping the tabletop, center, and 3. Center to the knee, center, and 4. Center to the knee, center, you feel that hip, 5. It is not in the glute this time because we're not in the other direction. Nice, so we don't need the glute to hold us up. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And last one. Now we're going to just go knee to middle. Now you're moving, put your hand on your hip, moving across that hip. You can really feel it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope the person who created therapy pens got the patent on it, because I think they're one of the most important tools we have for recovery that are available. All right, we're going to the other side. Loop that foot. I'll give you a second in case you're tying and untying. Take it all the way down. I've got to get a little stretched out. We're all the way down. Center, knee, center. 1, center, knee, center. 2, center, knee, center. 3, 4, 5. You're doing great. Pull that belly in. 6 to support your back. Make sure nothing comes up on the other side. 7, 8. Good. Make sure you make it over to that knee. 9. It has to be an effort. And 10. Now center knee. 1. It's an effort here. 2, 3. The spree band. My spree band is nice and strong. 4. Better than my therapy bands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the fact of the matter is, in this direction, you're going to get a lot more hip work than down, because when we're in this direction, here's that big glute already engaged. In that direction, it's basically holding us down on the floor. Great work. Okay. I think you can think of some variations from there. That's all I'm going to do here today. But I think it kind of gives you an idea of how to gauge whether you're working your hip. I don't know if you're ever going to say, oh, today I need to add some hip strength into my workout. Let me go grab a few of those exercises from Elmos's hip strength focus. I don't know if you're ever going to do that. But I think it's really important that you have an awareness about how the hip gets overtaken by the imperialist glutes, okay? So you better watch out for those imperialist muscles. They call them global. I call them imperialists. Let's take one leg over the other and just hug it to us. That's a great hip stretch right here. We don't even have to go to pigeon. We can just pull it in really with a lot of effort, pulling ourselves up, head over our tailbone, our belly button to our spine. Great. And then switch to the other side. Pull up, head over tailbone. Good. Belly button to spine. You are getting that hip stretch. I'm not going to give you a full stretch today because it's supposed to be a 20-minute workout. I always go over. So I'm trying to keep into my boundaries. Let's just hinge forward in seated butterfly. Make sure you're breathing. Don't give up. Again, we're going to have a wake up stretch on Saturday. You'll probably be awake if you come by the time the workout happens. For further reference, and don't worry, there will be plenty of stretches that you'll be able to use during the day. Inhale and exhale, bring yourself up, get relaxed on the floor, breathe it up and down, 2 more up and down, and last time. Thank you everybody for coming to Strength Focus Hips. I hope you found out some stuff today.